was the alien in the cantina that
Oh,
only Star Wars fans?
Glupshida.
Hey everybody, welcome to episode 4, A New Nerd. I'm Jake.
I'm Emily.
And this is our channel. And it's called A New Nerd because I grew up with all kinds of nerd stuff, comic books, 80s movies, sci-fi, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
About 80s movies.
Yeah, it's a good nerd stuff. And Emily.
I did not grow up around a lot of nerd culture.
So, welcome to Nerddom. And we're going to have a little bit of a journey on this channel, and you're all invited to join us. So, here we go with the first joint episode of A New Nerd. So, for background, like, people can get nerdy about anything that may form strong opinions.
Oh, you have to have strong opinions about it?
In order to be a nerd about something, you have to have strong opinions. What nerd franchises are you going to want to, discuss, or are there any that you want to learn about and then discuss in the future?
It's an interesting question. I was actually thinking about this myself. Like, what are my favorite nerddoms? And I think, like, first of all, I should describe my nerd genre type. Is that a thing?
Sure.
I would say that I am a music nerd.
She was in orchestra.
Like, classical singing, music, orchestra, scores, musical scores, like that kind of stuff, right?
You like show tunes?
I love show tunes. Yeah. But musical, like music theory kind of stuff, right? I also love Jane Austen books, which I was asking the other day, is that a franchise?
I don't think it is. If there was a Sense and Sensibility meets Pride and Prejudice universe, then you could call it
what constitutes a franchise? Because Lord of the Rings is another one of my favorites, and that is a franchise for sure.
I think it has. I think in order to be a franchise for nerddom, it has to. I would say it has to cross genres. So it can't be just books. It also has to be.
Oh, like it has to have, movies.
There are movies, right?
Jane Austen has. There's
and
movies.
Now there's comic books. At least there's actually been comic books for a few years. Just found this out recently. Is there Jane Austen fan fiction?
Yes. I don't know. I haven't heard of any. I don't know of any. Oh, Clueless.
That's not fanfic. That's just a modern retelling. Let's beat for beat the same story.
Okay, that's true.
I guess Pride and Prejudice and Zombies.
Yes, that, and also there have been people who have written stories about what happens to the Bennett girls after that book.
So I would say then yes, at least that book probably exists as a fandom.
Fandom for sure. Franchise, I don't know.
About which one could nerd.
I like Lord of the Rings.
We went to see Lord of the Rings, Fellowship of the Ring in the theater. It was on a whim.
A whim.
Yeah, a whim. That's what I said.
Yeah.
And I'd read the books in high school. I enjoyed them. I thought the movie was very good. And you made me go see it 2 more times. In the theaters, the original release. We watched that in the theaters 3 times. It was so shockingly good. And had you heard of Lord of the Rings before that?
I read them in high school, I believe, but I
mean, they're really thick, boring books.
I read them for the grade. But no, that movie changed my life.
Disney? Really?
I mean, I can talk about Disney, and I love Disney.
Okay, well, I'm a little disappointed.
I don't know if I'd say I was nerdy about Disney.
Star Wars.
Other people would say that I'm nerdy about Disney. I don't know if I'm nerdy about Star Wars or not. I can't.
You're not. I mean, you're not. You appreciate Star Wars, and I acknowledge that.
I listened to a whole podcast about Andor. And I was one of the first people that liked Rogue One.
No, wait. You're like the only person who liked Rogue One.
I'm one of the first people who liked Rogue One. I'm declaring that right now.
And you're the last person who liked Rogue One.
No, everybody liked Rogue One. It was a good movie.
It was better than any of the new trilogy? Okay, so you have to pick a trilogy. Original trilogy, prequel trilogy, or sequel trilogy.
Oh, my favorite one?
Yeah, if you only get to watch one trilogy
Oh,
for
the
the rest of your
original. The
okay.
original.
Yeah, of course. That's the correct answer.
Oh, if you also notice that we have a bunch of Legos up at the top here. I love Legos a lot.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Minifigures, my fave. I can talk about crafting nerdiness.
Absolutely, you can talk that. So, folks, remember this is a crafting channel at its heart, right? This is collective.
No, see, I think it's a comic
J&E.
at
That's
its heart.
Jake and Emily. Collectibles and crafts. Comic books are collectibles.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But I can get nerdy about crafts. I can get nerdy about
So we will be going
crochet.
We'll be looking at some crochet. When we get to the holidays, we'll break out some of the holiday crochet. What are we going to talk about in the future? We got some crafts to talk about, some more comic books, of course, maybe some music.
I think we should do some test my knowledge.
Okay, we'll do some trivia.
Yeah.
Kind of see how deep does your nerddom go, and
Yeah.
maybe it will improve over the course of the channel.
Yeah.
Okay, Star Wars trivia question. That's what you want.
You should ask me one trivia question per video.
All right, nerd. Trivia.
Okay.
In what year was the first Star Wars film released in theaters?
1977.
You nailed it. A little shocked that you had to think about it, but
See?
okay. And there you go.
I win.
You win. Nerd.
Yeah.
Hey, everybody, thanks for nerding out with us. If you enjoyed this video, please hit that like button. Let us know in the comments what you thought was good, what you thought we could do better, and if there's anything else you wanted us to talk about. Hit that like and subscribe, share, and then come on back, because there's always room for one more nerd.
Always.